Marathon Meeples on a training run of Encyclopedia. It is the late 1700s, and adventurer Lisa, that's me, is about to embark on an exploration and find myself some animals to research. There are advantages about specialization. After all, don't we want to know the most we can about a continent and its species? Lisa's a look at the bird state and is going to focus on Australia and birds who are omnivores. We'll explain why in a second. At the start of a round, all adventurers get a bonus. Hey, a $3 bonus? There are 2 unlimited adventure spots. One that provides $5 cash and first player for the first person to the spot. The other that provides a number of exploration tokens based on pip value. These tokens offer adventurers flexibility by adding either 2 pips or changing the color of a die. Research is an important part of any expedition. Here, Lisa gains a code that provides a bonus throughout the game, and by matching the die color to the code color, she gets an extra exploration token. It's time to find an animal to study. This code is perfect. I place a green 6-pip die and take the code and get 3 reputation points. So why do I want this? Other than vanity, well, this track provides a number of bonus actions, such as research tokens and money. Now that I have my Australian bird, it's time to add some research. I take my die and place it on the exploration area. Since I'm the first one here, I get 3 reputation points. Now it's time for me to add research cubes to my animals based on the pips that I had and the amount of money I paid to increase them. It's later on in the adventure and I've got a pretty impressive roster of animals if I don't say so myself. It's time to publish some research. I do this by placing a die on a reference animal. Since I placed a 4-pip die, I can place research cubes up to the level allowed based on my pips, or I can increase the value of my pips. Once Explorer Lisa selects her reference animal, she is able to move out the number of research cubes from her animals based on the categories on her reference animal. In this case, birds and omnivores. First, Explorer Lisa takes all of the bird cubes and moves them to the main player board, and then repeats the same action for her omnivore cubes. Notice that she did not take the meat cube from the penguin, as this was not on her reference animal. This cube is discarded, along with the cards that are from other continents. The 2 green cards from the same continent are saved for endgame scoring. Victory points are scored immediately based on the research published, and a red seal is gained. That's the basic gist of the game. A good portion of your points come at the end. Let's look at my Australia continent cards. I have 4 research cards and 3 animal cards. That's a total of 7 for 12 points. I also have the same for my bird research cubes. I have 9, therefore 22 points. You also gain points for every $2, 1 for expedition tokens, and 4 points for any red seals left over. Takes to be a top adventurer in Encyclopedia. And that's what it takes to be a famous adventurer and naturalist in Encyclopedia. Now join me back at the table. Alright, I am back from my adventures and here to tell you all about the game of Encyclopedia. In this game, there is some interactivity between players as you can steal their die, you can take different research and animals that they may be vying for. But at the end of the day, especially at 2 players, don't worry, there is plenty to do for everyone. And even if someone steals your die, you benefit because there are things specifically for you and you get to take one of their die in exchange. There's quite a bit of variety in this game because there are lots of animals and different research cards that do come out. Every round, you sweep those boards and a whole new set of animals and research come out for you to explore. One thing I really thought at the beginning of this game was how important the color of dice and your pip values are going to be. But as I really got going into this game, I realized there's lots of ways to mitigate those dice. From exploration tokens to money, there was always something I could do in order to get those dice to be the ones I needed for my actions. Points come at the end of the game predominantly. Even though you do collect points throughout the game, it is set collection that is going to take you home. One thing I really noticed was specializing in one or two either classes or diets was my winning ticket, because I could get lots and lots of points by growing these areas. Also, continents, trying to stick to one or two continents allowed you to steamroll ahead in points rather than having multitudes of smaller sets. Replayability in this game comes from the variety of animals, research cards, the way that they are swept after every round. Therefore, you always have different cards to be playing with. Various dice, colors, and pip numbers are going to make every game play differently. And there are so many different avenues to explore, from collecting as many research cubes on a card as you can to really driving just one or two areas of specialty. So you can get ample numbers of play just trying out various strategies before picking your kind of golden ticket to your research and flying along, trying to hone those skills and become the top adventurer.